welcome to Football Insight on Starcross TV. I am David reaching out to you from Starcross TV. Yes, today we are here to do justice on football. And I'm here with my wonderful, lovely team. I have a very capable team in the analyzation aspect. Sitting very close to me, I have brother Elijah Amos. Good evening, brother Elijah.
Good evening.
How are you today? Yes, very close to him. I have Vice Ambassador Victor Ambassador. Good evening. How are you today?
Good evening.
How have you been faring so well?
Well, he's been suffering and smiling in the football
Football world.
the football world.
All right, let's move into what is happening currently in Nigeria. After the Nations Cup, we did not have an official head coach, but currently now we have a new head coach. Fini De George is the head coach of the national team. Nigeria has a new head coach. Congratulations, Fini De George. How do you see this appointment, Mr. Elijah?
I think let's try home once again. Like, let's try coming back home once again. After our former coach had left after the Nations Cup. So let's see how we will do with an indigenous coach, taking up the job. Finidi George was a very good player during his time. So we expect that he's going to try to bring out the best, especially the attacking force, because he was an attacker. And he has worked with the previous coach for over 20 months. So I think he will do well with the national team. He will do well.
Ambassador, do you think Nigeria has made the right choice to appoint an indigenous coach? Do you think it is the right choice at this time?
Well, first I must say, in previous times we have our indigenous coaches who have won the African Cup of Nations for Nigeria, and this year, earlier this year, we had our foreign coach who took us to the final. So at this point, my hands are tied. I don't even know what to say. But I think
you need to have a stand.
The foreign coach would have been given another chance, because for him to take the national team to the finals, which means he has a very good prospect.
I think he was actually the one.
Yes, he was the one who declined that maybe he cannot cope with the pressure. Nigerians are people that they want.
I understand. See, I think even in footballers, there's a way a player want to leave your team, and you call him, sit him down, talk to him. What do you want? What are your challenges? Then you now trash it out. So I think they would have done the same thing.
Wow, but I am feeling that maybe they want to toe the line of Ivory Coast. They saw the magic Ivory Coast perform. They had a foreign coach, and maybe the foreign coach could not understand them in terms of language, gesture, and other things. But they opted to use an indigenous coach who was just an interim coach, and he took over. And Ambassador, have you noticed most people they hand over caretaker job to tend to perform
when they are still caretakers?
Yes. So do you think as they are giving this appointment that he will do better? Do you think so, Ambassador?
Well, let's just see how it goes, because this is a game of football. Everybody is preparing. Like whenever there is a competition, both teams involved, they are preparing so hard to make sure that they come back victorious. So I cannot sit here to say maybe he's going to do well or not. So let's just see. And I think also the NFF should give him all the support he wants. If a coach says, I don't want this player, allow him to do his job. It is only when you give him the free hands and he does not live up to expectations, now you can now attack him. But in Nigeria, this is Nigeria, where some people, some group of some person will sit down somewhere and not be giving you instructions. You must play this player, you must not play this player. So this is what has always been our problem.
All right, but do you think the players they are excited for this appointment? Because everybody wants to have his own stand. So do you think the players like Osimhen, Chukwueze, do you think they'll be happy for this appointment?
To players like that, I think it should be a thing of joy for them. They should be excited, working with an indigenous coach and a former legend of the country, coming back to, at least he has an experience, he has played with the national team, he knows what it means to play for the flag, to play for the badge. So I think it should be a good thing for them, it should be something that they should be proud of and work with him I think if they work with him, I believe sincerely he's going to do well.
All right. Congratulations to our new coach, Finidi George. He is a striker, and we believe that will also happen to Osimhen to give us more goals. We did not really see much from Osimhen during the Cup of Nations. Yes, he did very well. He came out to mark and show the passion, but goal-wise, we needed to see more goals coming from Osimhen.
Even if he did not score, he contributed to a lot of goals.
But most Nigerians wanted to see him top the score chart.
Yeah. It's not always easy for an outstanding striker to always make the name. You can see the likes of Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
He came in last season and he grabbed the golden boot, but this season it's not the same because everybody just in short every defender prepares for Erling Haaland as soon as you have the game. So it's something applicable to Osimhen.
All right. Now let's move on to the European scene. There's so many things unfolding on the European scene, and maybe that is why some segments in Africa or in Nigeria rather are opting to get the European coaches based on their experience and their exploit. They are ready to do everything, but we are hoping that the Nigerian coach and the African coaches currently go out to do the great things the white men normally do. We can do it.
Of course.
All right, let's move on to the Bundesliga. This is where we had a very exciting moment, a very wonderful, thrilling time. Over the years, no other team has surpassed Bayern Munich to emerge as title contenders or even to win the title. But we have seen a very wonderful Leverkusen, Alonso, a great midfielder, coming up to win the Bundesliga. Umbrella, how do you see our own coach Alonso winning the Bundesliga? A very great midfielder.
When you say our own coach, I'm beginning to
He's our own coach.
to wonder the way he's coming from. Is it from Manchester United or?
He may come to one of these teams.
Is it from Manchester United? Like you have said something. For me, I think Liverpool made so many approaches to Alonso after seeing his success in Bayern Munich, and sincerely, I really loved what he did. Declining that job was the best thing he could do.
Liverpool's job?
Yes. Deciding to stay at Bayern Leverkusen for another season is going to help him a lot. At least let him see how he can manage. Because coming down to a team like Liverpool, you can't compare Liverpool to Bayern Leverkusen.
Of course.
And the league itself is different. The crop of players are different. This is already a very big club. Not like Bayern Leverkusen is not a big club, but you can't compare them to Liverpool, and they're playing in the Champions League. So let him manage Bayern Leverkusen again. They are playing in the Champions League next season. Let's see how he's going to do. Will he still be able to contend for the Bundesliga next season? Of course, this season.
And also be in the Champions
League. There's going to be lots of competitions. And of course, the Bayern Leverkusen players, they are playing very well. A lot of teams will come for them. And we know players, young players, who have this eagerness. Most of them need the money. Yeah. Some of them want to play for bigger clubs too. Imagine a club like Real Madrid coming for you. Come and sign for us. As a player, wow, such a big club. I think I need to go there. So there's going to be a lot of changes in the Bayern Leverkusen team. So let's see how Alonso is still going to manage the team again. They have done very, very well this season, playing unbeaten. It's something that nobody ever saw it coming. But like coming back to take the league from Bayern Munich.
All right, Ambassador, will you agree with me that as the players also have this eagerness to play for the big teams, the coach is supposed to also have this ability or this hunger to coach the big teams? I do not see any reason why Alonso would want to opt not to come into the big stage, Liverpool. That is where he played for. He's supposed to come and manage this team and prove that currently he wants to chill with the big boys. That you have to chill with the big boys, leave the small zone and come to the big zone.
I'm going to use an instance to answer that question. We saw what happened to Graham Potter.
Okay.
You will agree with me that Graham Potter will not want to opt for any big job for now. Yes.
So why would you say so?
He will not want to opt for any big job.
Keep trying until you get
currently
it better.
Chelsea cannot be classified as a top 4 team in the English Premier League.
But they're still the big. Still
I understand.
You are looking for trouble now.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Why would you say Chelsea? Like imagine, like
Chelsea-
Chelsea.
Let's call a spade a spade. Chelsea is not going to finish top 4.
Okay, now fine.
Ambassador,
even top six.
I saw a memo saying that Chelsea are the inter-sport team.
There is no problem. Okay,
Chelsea is no longer the big club in English Premier League, and in England as a whole. What about Manchester United?
I was setting an instance, right? See, okay, now they brought Graham Potter because as Brighton coach, he was sitting number 4 on the table.
Yes.
They now brought him to handle Chelsea, and we saw where he took Chelsea to. Now Potter cannot
a permanent site.
Yes, Potter cannot opt for a big job, a big team as we speak. He would like to go to maybe a middle class team and build up his career from there. So I think it's the same thing applicable to Alonso. He want to stay where he has taken the team from and remain there, manage the team for a while. Then if he sees his success, if he sees that he can contend playing Champions League and contend remaining at the top, remember, being at the top is or getting to the top is easy, but remaining at the top is always the problem. So if he can contend being at the top and contend being a Champions League team, then he now knows that okay, he can go for teams like Liverpool. So you can't just carry him because he has won the Bundesliga and you bring him to a team like Liverpool.
It is said that opportunity comes, but
No.
what if he does not make it to the top again in the Bundesliga, whereas he would have become
He has won a league title
It's better
for himself.
You become a manager at a small club where you are succeeding.
Of course.
Your strategies
building your strategy and trying to remain at the top.
Macedon, this is a game of luck also. Consider this aspect. Tomorrow he might not have the same crop of players which he used to win the Bundesliga.
Okay, fine. Are you aware that Klopp has will I say more wealth of experience than Alonso?
Yes.
But with all his experience, he has not been able to win the Premier League with Liverpool, even as he's going to take over.
He has won.
I mean currently this season he hasn't been able to win the Premier League. So what makes you feel that Alonso will come to Liverpool at this time and will take Liverpool to win a trophy?
Different set of players.
You understand?
A man with a burning desire is always ready to carry out so many things.
Oh really?
Yes, that's what I think. So we pray that Alonso taking the decision not to opt for a bigger job or a bigger price. We pray he does not come back to haunt him.
No. I think he is trying not to bite more than what he can chew. He really wants to swallow what he has in his mouth before taking another bite.
Alonso was a Premier League player.
Yes.
Of course.
Who played for Liverpool.
Yes.
Like, of course, it would be a thing of joy for him to come back
Definitely.
to coach a team he played for. But I think he has put so many things into consideration. Look, this is a bigger league. Okay, let me use that.
I will say he's afraid to exploit his weakness.
I think it's better he builds his weakness where he is now and try to see how will this strategy he's using for Bayern Munich. If I play in the Champions League, will it work against Liverpool? Will it work against Barcelona? He has to put all those things into consideration. Look at Vincent Kompany now with Burnley.
Yeah.
They were doing very well in the Championship.
And they came to where the big boys
and they came to the Premier League now.
Okay.
And where everybody say everybody say when Burnley come, Burnley is going to mesmerize the Premier League.
Yeah.
But look at what is happening now. The strategies have changed.
But he is still with a small team.
Of
He
course.
did not change. If he had won as he won the championship with Burnley and a bigger team came, do you think that Company would have done better with a bit better team and better players?
How on earth do you think that Company would cope with a bigger team? Okay, now are you saying that if you give Company, if you hand Chelsea over to Company, you do well?
He might do well because he has great players who has the foresight, who are more experienced.
Okay, so are you saying that Company is better than Pochettino?
Technically, he might be better than them. Technically, Ambassador. You never can tell. We can see Zidane did not have any experience, but he was just a player who took over the job of Real Madrid with great players in it. So he had nothing much to do. He did not do great signing.
All fingers are not equal, my brother.
That's what I say. Use your opportunities wisely. I pray Alonso, this opportunity does not haunt him.
Amen.
All right, let's move on to another league. We are going to the French league, Ligue 1. Yes, Paris Saint-Germain has been crowned champions for the 12th time. They have only opted 2 times not to win the league 12 times in a row. Ambassador, would I call this league the Farmers League? It has been controlled by this set of persons. The Paris Saint-Germain team.
And they just sat at home and they
sat at home and they won the league.
They brought the league to them.
What kind of league is this?
Of course, it happens like that. You know, this is always the advantage of, you know, grooming and having a particular crop of players in a team for a very long time. You know, it's just like Manchester City. My brother, let's tell ourselves the truth. Except their current coach leaves before they will have a shaky Manchester City. As long as they are sitting, their current coach is still in Man City, my brother, that team is going to be a very hard nut to crack. So it's the same thing applicable to PSG. PSG has groomed a certain crop of players for a very long time. So they now become a kind of, will I use the word, formidable team that is very, very difficult for anybody to beat them. So it's not a new thing until a certain team in League One maybe has
a capacity.
So to say, a financial capacity to groom a certain crop of players for a long time, and under the care of a good coach, then they will be able to contend the league with PSG.
Wow, it is so sad that a particular team has been dominating the league. But let's look at the exploit of transfer. Do you think if the likes of Mbappe currently leaves the team will perform the way they are performing? Do you think so, Elijah?
Well, yeah, you know, the transfer of a thing, it plays a vital role in the team. You know, if players like Mbappe leaves, of course, it's going to create a vacuum in the team. But that vacuum can't be forever.
It might not create one.
Because we have seen what the coach is trying to do.
Yeah.
Most times he's losing a game and he drops Mbappe on the bench.
So I think he already has a feeling Mbappe could leave anytime.
Of course.
So he's trying to see how he can play the team without Mbappe.
Yeah.
Of course, they will always make signings. Other players, we have players, younger players coming up who also take up that role. So I think it's not really going to affect the team.
All right, congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain on becoming the League One champions. We will definitely know if that is a Farmers League when they are to take on Dortmund, who's in the Champions League semi-final. All right, let's move on to another league. We are going to move on to Serie A. Serie A is very, very dominant. I must say this is one league I respect so much, but this season it has been different. Inter Milan has been able to show class, and they are going to emerge as winners of this league in no time. Ambassador, how do you see Inter Milan going to emerge as winners of the Serie A, where we have the likes of Juventus, Napoli, who was the league winner of last season, but nowhere to be found in the top 4?
Well, I am not surprised. I'm not.
So why would you say so? Everybody were thinking the same way. Now we are hoping that Leverkusen is going to dominate the Bundesliga. That was what everybody were thinking, that Napoli is still going to dominate Serie A. But we are shocked that the old dogs are still coming back to show their class.
When I say I'm not surprised, Inter Milan is not a small team. As far as the league is concerned, Inter Milan is not a small team. It's just like what we are seeing in maybe Spanish league, where sometimes you see the Real Madrid come up, sometimes you see Barcelona win the league. So it's not a new thing. Even let's move to Premier League. As we speak now, everybody is thinking Arsenal is going to win the league and anything could happen. So it is a kind of a competitive league down there. So that is why I said I'm not surprised. Juventus were not really at that top form of this season. We saw them, having shaky starts, and at some point they were losing and pulling out draws. So in summary, I'm not surprised. Congratulations to them in advance.
It's really, really sad. A very, very big margin between Inter Milan and Juventus. Very big start. Let's look at another exciting aspect. Bologna in the Champions League sports. Another midfielder performing tremendously well. We're looking at Thiago Motta, a midfielder from Paris Saint-Germain, having handled Bologna. Who saw this coming? Bologna in top 4.
Of course, that's football for you. I think I'm really, really happy that the younger managers are trying to step up, see how they can compete with managers that are handling the big teams. They are learning very fast and they are doing very well. can see De Rossi at AS Roma,
Yes.
you know, who took over from Jose Mourinho, and he's doing very well ever since he took over, and AS Roma are playing very well now. So it's not a surprise, of course. Bologna in the Champions League, well, it's easy to come to the Champions League, but to remain in the Champions League is a problem. so let's hope that they have a very good outing in the Champions League next
All right,
season.
from our experience this year, we have seen the younger coaches dominating the ones that have been in the business. Are we moving to the right direction?
Yes,
Of
towards
course,
the right direction.
of course.
It's very
We
straight.
hope for this same gesture to be applied in the Premier League.
Of course, we have seen it work out in the Premier
It's-
League. Now.
it's
We've
coming
seen
already.
the likes
Arteta.
of Arteta and
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Yes, he has been trying. Let us see whether the effort is going to pay out this season.
No, he's going to pay. Even next season, like it's just
Not
like
this
what
season, not this
it's
season.
just
next
like
season.
what Ambassador Victor.
Not this season. It's obviously I can bet my life that Arsenal will not win the league.
Ambassador, this is a live TV.
Let's
we
go
are
down.
live.
Let's go down. Let's go down.
But I know this is a live TV, but let's tell ourselves the truth.
All right, let's move on to the big six, the Premier League. The Premier League, we are live, and the Premier League.
Thank
The
God we are
Premier League is something that this is the best league in the world.
Of
And
course.
it is filled with ups and downs.
Yeah.
The kind of ups and downs
And
that
it's
is
filled with surprises.
yes, the surprises and ups and downs that are in the Premier League cannot even be found in someone's marriage. No, I'm telling you, have different shades of surprises.
Yeah.
Of
We saw
course.
when the league started, Manchester United were third in the league. Where is Manchester United now? We saw some.
They are
great
still
teams.
somewhere.
They are somewhere. We saw Chelsea.
So we
and
saw Tottenham
We saw
beating
Tottenham. We saw
everybody.
so many teams.
Yeah.
But currently, the end point is very, very different.
Everybody know. You know, see, it's like when you're starting a race. You know,
Yeah.
where let's say 100 meters, or let me just say 400 meters race.
Mm.
Everybody that first energy, you know.
Yeah.
But as the race is going on, we will know the real contenders of the race coming up. You know, it's like going to run with Usain Bolt. You can decide to run very fast
At the start.
at the start, but Usain Bolt will always take his position. So I think everybody gradually looked for their spots, and they are occupying their spots, and that's how it is.
All right, let's look at the scoreline for the English Premier League. We saw West Ham all squared with Liverpool. West Ham has been a team that has not been consistent, but
Of course.
they have this joy in taking away,
punishing the
Liverpool. I think, what do they gain? What did they gain? Because they just stopped the hopes of Liverpool to also be title contenders for the Premier League. So, what do you think about West Ham team?
Well, it has always been like that. It's not just against Liverpool this season. West Ham has always been a thorn on the big boys' flesh in the Premier League. West Ham have done the same thing to Manchester United. They've done the same thing to Manchester City. They have even stopped top teams from reaching cup finals.
Yes.
And in the end, they won't even get
They
to the
won't
finals.
even.
So we are not surprised.
All right, they took away a whole 2 points from Liverpool, and they would have won the game if not for the home goal of Souček. They would have won the game. Crystal Palace, Fulham, all squared. Manchester United, Burnley, all squared. Ambassador, this is a very terrible Manchester United team. They have gone to play 5 games, no win.
So
And they have always been leading in 4 out of the 5.
What a very terrible team.
now let's conclude now. So is Manchester United still a big team
Of course.
in England?
No.
Of course.
I would say
Of
this
course.
Why?
They are still a big
But you
team.
said Chelsea is not a big team in
This is
England.
another inter.
Why are you saying?
Okay. Let's see it from this angle.
Okay.
Is Chelsea going to play in any Europe sport?
They
They
still have 2
They
games.
still have a
to
chance.
spare.
They still have a chance to
They
play
still
in
have 2 games to
conference.
spare.
Of course,
2 games to
they still
spare.
have a
I
chance.
see.
Ambassador, they still
Well,
have 2
you
games.
might not. If
They might
if-
even come and top Manchester United.
That is what I
And
even
push
want to
Manchester
say.
United
That is
to
that is what I want to
Behind.
say. That's what I want to say. You know, if they
Okay, but
win all their matches,
I want to predict something.
Okay.
Manchester United is going to finish in the top 6
Okay.
first. Manchester United might win the FA Cup
Wow.
wow,
But Ambassador,
Against-
you're not sure.
against.
against Manchester City.
Ambassador, you're not sure. All right.
No, when you mention Manchester United is going to win the FA Cup, mention the team they are playing against, so that
See,
we
are
will
you-
all be so
The
sure.
best team in the
Okay,
world.
are you telling me that it is 100% certain that Manchester City is going to win the remaining matches they have?
Ambassador,
But-
Manchester City is the best team in the world.
No.
Consider this fact.
Forget the fact that they are the best team in the world.
They are the best team. They are the best team. I will always consider that fact.
My brother he just said Manchester United currently plays like an inter-house sport team. So
We are very much aware of that.
How do you expect them to win the FA Cup? Well, unless it's a miracle, of course. Football miracles happen. So
Thank you very much.
90 minutes defending after one goal.
That is my brother. It is so shameful that for 5 matches that they have been leading, they will just somehow will just happen, and before you know it,
I think
will share the
Manchester
points.
United need to consult a technician to handle them, a technical technician.
I see. To me, I think Manchester United's problem is just the coach. The coach is not being decisive. Okay, the last game that the FA Cup tie against Coventry City, I think I'll blame the coach 200%. Your team is playing very well. At 66 minutes, your team is leading 0-3. Why will you go on to make a substitution at that time? Why don't you allow these players? And the players were not being stressed. Yeah, they were not tired because they were in possession of the game. You know, your team gets tired when you are not in possession of the game. You're always doing the marking, the running around, and the dirty job. So your team gets tired at that point. But at this point in time, Manchester United were leading 0-3 at 66 minutes. Why would you make a substitution? We have seen a team like Manchester City leading 2-0 or sometimes 1-0, and they will end that game without a substitution. The most important thing is that Manchester City has won the game.
True.
So why would you go on to make the first substitution of taking off Garnacho and bringing on someone else? And we saw that the 2 goals that came thereafter came from that angle.
Yes.
That is it.
he felt they have won the game already.
I know.
Against a team like Coventry. So what will Coventry do after 3 goals down?
I wonder.
He wants everybody to be part and parcel of the game, but at the detriment of the team.
Of the team, yes.
I think most managers consider
There's a compromise,
yes, a compromise. They compromise a lot. But funny enough, Eric Ten Hag has been offered another job by Ajax, begging him to come back. They are ready to offer him another job.
So now you just said the coach is the problem. So do you really think it's the coach that is the problem?
Because
of course,
Ajax have lost their value, they
Yeah.
have lost their direction, and they believe the right man, the right owner to take them back to the top is Eric Ten Hag.
and I pray he goes so that because as soon as he gets to Ajax, I'm sure he's going to come back for the boys. For the boys he brought to Manchester United, like the likes of Anthony and another player.
But
See,
they are good players now.
Oh, you think so?
Anthony is a very good
Anthony
player.
has never taken on any player since he came to
It's just that Manchester United is not favorable for him too.
I see.
I think if he goes to a team like Arsenal, they'll do very well.
No, I doubt. Saka is a better player than Anthony.
Of course,
I'm not being sentimental.
that
Saka is
will
a
make,
better player.
that
than
will make
Anthony.
him step up his game because you know he has the player to contend with. Who does he have to contend with in Manchester United?
Nobody. No, for now he has.
For now, I think
He has Garnacho.
He has Garnacho. He
They are
also
not playing the
has
same.
Amad Diallo.
Amad Diallo.
I feel
No,
the coach is being sentimental.
these two players are always starting the match ahead of him. You know, there was this interview with Zlatan Ibrahimovic
Yes.
about Ten Hag. He said that Ten Hag was a coach, an average coach. I'm quoting him verbatim, that was managing an average team that had average crop of players. Now, taking that kind of an average coach that was managing an average team with average crop of players to a Manchester City team that is a world-class team with top-class footballers, the team was too big for him. That was the greatest mistake that Manchester United had ever made. And he said he was speaking as a former Ajax player and a former Manchester United player. And he was very correct. So this is the problem of Manchester United. I think they should just allow him to go back to Ajax and bring the right man for the job.
With the first flight.
Of course. As soon as he finishes, I wish him luck because I'm sure he's going to win a trophy before he leaves. Otherwise, he should hold him hostage.
All right, let's move over to another wonderful game. Wolverhampton 2, Luton 1. Everton 1, Brentford 1. Ambassador, Everton is a team that has suffered tremendously for their mistakes and the aspects of selling of players and unnecessary buying of players without going through the contract and so on and so forth. So they are cutting loss and lots of deduction.
Yeah, 8 points. I think 8 points, yeah.
More than 8 points. They were deducted 10 points the first time and
yeah.
another 2 points extra. It would have been even 6 points extra, but after appeal, it was 2 points. And you know, even in points from the Premier League, it is very, very hard for you to get it. So imagine Everton did not lose this point. Do you know where Everton would have been now? But they have tried to escape relegation. Do you see Everton coming up very strong next season?
Of course. Everton is a very good side. You know, they have been doing very well. Like you have said, if these points were not deducted, they would have been the top 6 contenders as we speak.
Yeah.
So I think they will come up strong and better next season.
All right. Aston Villa to Chelsea 2. This was a very interesting and surprising game. We saw Aston Villa taking on Chelsea, and they were leading the first half 2-0, and Chelsea had to come back 2-2. Brother, are you surprised about the game?
Well, it's not at the beginning of the match. Chelsea were dominating, of course. You know, they got the first goal. It was an own goal, and they managed to score the second goal. But we saw Chelsea coming up with a fighting spirit, try to see how they can come back on. They almost won the game if not for VAR that disallowed the game, disallowed the goal because of a foul that was committed. You know,
it happened. We see that a lot in the
so we're not surprised. So we could see the Chelsea player, but Badiashile was so furious with the referee after the match. You know, he had to confront the ref. I mean, it was a sad thing for Chelsea, but well, at least they managed to secure 2 points and 1 point. And I believe if they had won the match, it would have been a very good advantage for them, at least to go higher in the table. But of course, they still have some games to play. So,
all right, let's speak about a bit about officiating. We saw handballs on several United and some other matches. We would say the use of VAR this season has been very, very terrible, most especially in the English Premier League. Also, we saw during the Clasico, Real Madrid taking on FC Barcelona. We saw a ball which had passed the line, and the VAR could not intervene because there was no goal line technology. What will you say about VAR this season?
There was no goal line technology.
Yes, in the Spanish La Liga, they don't have a goal line technology.
Wow, it's surprising to hear. Anyway, talking about the English Premier League, my brother.
Even the VAR referees, they are still humans that control the
See, brother Elijah, I think I will disagree with you. You see, these are trained referees. They are trained on the pitch and in the VAR room. I think the job of the VAR referees, they are all referees in general.
Yes, of course.
Like the center referee today can be in the VAR room tomorrow. So these VAR referees are referees that their job is, I think they are always 3 or 4 of them.
Yes.
One person takes charge of offsides.
Yes.
One person takes charge of I think the goal line technology thing, and one person takes charge of I've forgotten the third thing. But these persons will be watching the screen and things will go wrong, and they will not be able to call the referee. On several occasions I have seen a match where there was a handball like you've said, and the referee will just say play on, and the person that was supposed to be checking the handball in the VAR room did not have a look at it again to signal the referee and say, hey young man, go and check the VAR screen. I think there is something that went wrong. Like they will just be so reluctant about everything, and so many coaches are complaining.
Yeah.
These refs are not being consistent with the rules.
We
anymore.
don't know which is handball.
We don't know.
Ball to hand.
And these days there are so many picture clips of these incidences where somebody's hand will be very close to his hand. Today it is penalty.
Yeah.
Handball. Tomorrow the same incident will happen and they will say play on. Like we don't know what is happening.
That's why I say this. When I say this VAR referees are also human beings. It's very different when it's a computer that is programmed to check those things. A computer would not hesitate, to stop. But these are human beings. We could have a situation like, let's just let it slide.
Did you just say let's let it slide?
It could happen.
But that is what is happening now.
It could happen in football.
Let us let it slide.
There's something I try to understand. The referee, are they mandated to always answer the VAR call, or they could decide to ignore the VAR call?
The refs have the final decision after the VAR call.
Yes, they do.
Of course. So what if there's a situation going on, the VAR referee, we will not know. The VAR communicates with the referee. What if he has a call on the referee and the referee decides to ignore?
I think it should be looked into. I think they should tell us when the VAR referees are communicating with the referee. Sometimes they should tell us the conversation.
So let them make a screen.
Yes.
And be showing us when the calls are coming in.
I'm telling us the conversation between the VAR referees.
This cannot be done for some personal reasons.
So you understand what I'm saying?
This cannot be done.
So it happens. So I believe they are human beings. Don't worry. Let's favor this team. Let them win. Let's just let it slide.
All right, we are running out of time. Final words before we go. Manchester City, Arsenal, Ambassador, who is winning the league?
Manchester City.
Well, Nigeria,
But it's very sad. It's very sad. I really wanted Arsenal to win the league. It is very sad. I am not happy about it.
Yes.
But let us tell ourselves the truth.
Okay.
Arsenal have played 35 games.
Yes.
And Manchester City has a game to go.
Yes, against Tottenham.
Against Tottenham. And we are very, very sure. We are very sure that Manchester City...
Ambassador Guardiola has made a statement that the only team he has not been able to win away is Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And if he does that, then he is going to be a victorious man.
Of course. And he's going to do that.
Brother, are you sure? Man City, Arsenal, who's going to win the league?
Well, sincerely, I really wish Arsenal would win the Premier League. I really wish Arsenal would win the Premier League.
Wow.
I really wish they could win the Premier League, but Manchester City, well, it's football. We could say that Manchester City has little games to play, not the big matches, and they don't have a chance of losing. But of course, anything can happen. We saw what happened last season on the final day of the Premier League.
Yeah.
They almost lost the final game,
Yes.
where they came back to win
But
the
they
match.
showed that they were Man City and
So,
the best team in the world.
Well, the league is still open.
No, it's not open.
It's still open.
All right, the league
It's
is still open between Arsenal
And
and
Manchester
Man City, but Liverpool has opted from the league. For the bottom three, Luton, Sheffield, and Burnley, they are going the way they came. So sad for them. We hope that they do well next season. All right, it has been wonderful from you, our audience. Thank you so much for staying glued to your TV set. I am David Eric. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Sports television.